Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Coach Prime, the Colorado Buffaloes, they're just a football team that continues to get better week after week. And it's not just Shadur Sanders. It's not just Travis Hunter. There are guys, you look at Colorado, you take a look at the number, 6 sacks, 10 tackles for loss. This Colorado front seven was absolutely whipping Texas Tech up front. Like all the preconceived notions of this Colorado team going back to 2023, they're just not true in the 2024 season. I think the most fascinating part about this win, I don't even think Colorado played all that good. I mean, you go on the road, beat Texas Tech by 2 scores. You were 2 of 3 on third downs, 14 penalties for 106 yards given up, got punched in the mouth early in this football game and just battled back, had a phenomenal second half. This is a team that gets better week after week. Want to go over just a few takeaways that I have from this football game. I think we're probably going to dive into a little bit more Sunday afternoon as I get to rewatch this game a couple of different times. Now, before we get into it, as always, a quick shout out to the Colorado fans. This has been a program that going back to late December, early January, we continue to say the quality of transfers that they're bringing in heading into 2024, it's different. We're seeing that play out in 2024. The amount of support y'all continue to show, it means the absolute world. If you guys do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. A lot of y'all been rocking with the boys for about 12 months now, so appreciate you guys. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I need Colorado fans to let it fly in the comment section in terms of storylines and players that I'm not giving some love to, because there's probably a lot of Colorado players that I'm going to leave out of this recap. So would love to hear from y'all in the comment section. Let's start with this Colorado defense. I think you want to start with red zone defense. I mean, this was you kind of come out on the road, very hostile environment in Lubbock, Texas. The offense starts to sputter a little bit. And Colorado's defense wasn't playing elite to start the game, but they were bowling their backs in the red zone, keeping Texas Tech to 3 early, and they kind of just kept Colorado in this football game. And when Colorado's offense started to put it together and find their rhythm, we all know this Colorado offense is almost impossible to stop when they are operating in rhythm and have put it together. And Colorado's defense bought them a little bit of time to kind of turn it into gear, and we saw that gear take place in that third quarter and second half. Looking at the defense again, I think what stands out, this Colorado front seven, stopping the run, getting after the passer, it's just different from last year. I mean, you go back to last year, what was the recipe of beating Colorado? Let's run the football, keep Shadur Sanders, that Colorado offense off the field. A lot of teams were able to do that. They're not really able to do that in 2024. I mean, you have 6 sacks, 10 tackles for loss. We went over some unsung heroes on Friday night for Colorado. A lot of y'all put in the comment section that I was sleeping on Amari McNeil. Y'all are sure right. He was an absolute monster. Him and Chidozie on the inside, that's a force not only in terms of getting after the passer, but what they do in the run game, getting run through and penetration. It's just different from what we saw in 2023. And because of that, because you have 2 guys on the inside that are dominating at the point of attack, your linebackers are playing much better than they did in 2023. I mean, Bentley, Nikai Hill-Green, 2 really phenomenal games. I mean, you could shout out Mari McNeil, Chidozie, Arden Walker playing some really good football. Keaton Wade as a depth piece. You're starting to see some depth for this Colorado defense really play a part as well. They can play 4 quarters of football, and there's a reason that this Colorado team is excelling late in the season because they're deep. I mean, they got a lot of guys, especially along the line of scrimmage, that can play some high-level football. I don't think a lot of national media analysts had this on the bingo card. Colorado is turning into one of the best line of scrimmage programs in the Big 12. You couple that with the quarterback play, you couple that with the weapons around Shadur Sanders, that makes for a very, very difficult Colorado team to beat. Now, there are things to still clean up. You had a lot of probably what Coach Prime, I'm guessing, is going to say in the press conference, some undisciplined penalties that gave Texas Tech some life when they probably shouldn't have had life late in that football game. You got to clean that up. It's hard going on the road, controlling your emotions, but if you can do that, I mean, that was kind of how Texas Tech stayed in this football game in the second half. You did a really nice job controlling Taj Brooks. I know he had a buck 37 on the ground. On 31 carries, Taj Brooks only averaging 4.5 yards per carry. That's a pretty good number. And I'm guessing the missed tackles, it's going to be low on the report that I get later tonight. Taj Brooks is a really hard running back to tackle in space. I thought Colorado did, on aggregate, a very good job of doing so. Then you go to the Colorado offense. I think you want to start with pass protection was probably a little bit sloppy, especially early in that football game, which makes sense when you go on to an environment like Texas Tech. We all saw on TV how rowdy it was, how loud it was. I think the offensive line struggled early. As a result, the Colorado offense struggled early. Thought the offensive line settled in. Jordan Seaton continues to be one of the most impressive true freshmen I've ever seen step on a college football field at the left tackle position. That kid's going to be special. He is special right now. When you started protecting Shedeur, it started going in the right direction. And I'll give a ton of credit to Shedeur and this Colorado, really Shedeur, in terms of extending plays. It wasn't the cleanest of pockets that Colorado gave him this afternoon. Really good job extending plays, being a difference maker, but also not turning the football over, which is something that he does at such a high level and doesn't get enough credit for. We all love to herald, and I don't know if that's the right word. We all like to commend and praise the big time throws and plays that Sanders makes at the quarterback position. Him doing that so consistently, but also taking care of the football and not turning it over, that's really hard for college football quarterbacks to do. And I think Shedeur does a really good job of that. Yards after the catch, we knew that would play a very big role in this football game. Texas Tech has struggled to tackle in the secondary all game or all season. What does Colorado excel at? Yards after the catch, manufacturing space with their pass catchers. LeJontay Wester getting loose on that screen to kind of get Colorado going in the first half. Shout out Travis Hunter throwing it. I mean, like we like to talk about Travis Hunter, the plays he makes. Travis Hunter, for not being like a big dude, he blocks like an absolute dog down the field. I give him so much credit. Really distributing it nicely. Like Travis Hunter, 9 catches, LeJontay Wester, 6, Will Shepherd, 8. That's kind of what makes this Colorado offense so difficult to deal with, is they just throw and have so many different kind of guys. I mean, Will Shepherd in the red zone is an absolute force. Travis Hunter is just extremely hard to deal with for a plethora of different reasons. LeJontay Wester after the catch, there's not many wide receivers that are better. That offense in the second half was the Colorado offense that when they're playing like that, that's a really difficult team to deal with. One other thing I'd note is Colorado on defense struggled early. They were kind of playing a lot of man coverage. Texas Tech knew they were going to play a lot of man coverage, dialed up some nice schemes to beat Colorado in man early. They settled in. And I think what stands out to me so much about this Colorado defense in terms of 2023 to 2024, they make adjustments. I mean, Colorado always seems to play their best football in the second, third, and fourth quarter. This is a very good coaching staff in terms of, hey, what's working, what's not working, what do we need to fix in the middle of the game, which is really important. The best coaching staffs do that, those in-game adjustments. This Colorado defense always seems to be very, very good at making those adjustments. Again, I think the fascinating thing, you go on the road, beat a really good Texas Tech team. You have over 100 penalty yards. You're 2 of 13 on third downs. There's meat left on the bone for this Colorado team, but they're going in the right direction. Really, really, I just a solid performance from Colorado, specifically in the second half, getting punched in the mouth early, battling back. A lot to be excited about. If you're a Colorado fan, we'll close it out there. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.